You may have heard of steak roll-ups before, but you probably haven't stuffed them with this ingredient that we're going to show you today.
I already know, but I'm going to keep my big mouth shut.
Do you know? Did I tell you?
Yes!
Oh, okay.
You tell me everything.
Keep it shut. Keep it shut. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep it real. I did not know what I was gonna stuff these steak roll-ups with before I started embarking on this recipe.
But that's the beauty of steak roll-ups.
Exactly. So I had the roladen, which is basically just very thinly sliced raw beef, in the freezer from our friends at Helenda's. And I just head to the fridge and I was like, okay, what do I have in here that I can stuff into these steak roll-ups? So I was taking a little look at the fridge. I was like, okay, what are we rocking with here? What are we rolling with? Pulled out some broccoli and some green onions because it was the end of the week and that's what I had circulating around the fridge.
Interesting.
Yes.
I would have never thought broccoli.
Yeah, I know. I don't think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people may be thinking of asparagus, maybe peppers. But I also took out of the fridge some Better Thank Bouillon, which this one is the beef flavor.
Ooh.
Because I wanted to marinate the meat. I took out some grainy mustard and one of my favorite ingredients, jarred garlic. Yes.
No, thank you.
Yes.
Take the extra step there, lazy pants.
I don't even know what to say to that. It's
Yeah,
so easy.
mince it.
No, it's already minced.
It stinks and it's gross.
Anyway, so I started embarking on the marinade because I wanted to marinate this for minimum 4 hours. So basically all I did was put in the Better Than Bouillon, do the mustard, do the garlic, put in some cold tap water.
You lost me at the garlic, but I'm going to pretend.
Okay, we're going to move on from the garlic, okay? Okay, so mix that all up. I know some of you are thinking that doesn't look the most appetizing, but trust me, it smelled incredible. So we put that off to the side, and now I'm going in to the broccoli. So maybe you might be thinking, okay, maybe the broccoli florets. That's not what we're adding here. I have like a love for broccoli stumps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a lot of people don't
Are they
even
called
buy
stumps?
the stumps. That's what I call them.
Stem stumps.
So I call them stumps. A lot of people will specifically just buy the florets, but I feel like that's such a waste. They're more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
The stump is, if you treat it right and you know how to use the stump, it's actually delicious because it's very high in fiber and it's obviously good for you as well.
You know what I do with the stumps?
What?
If I don't have a plan to make them into, I love making them into broccoli fritters because they have a very strong broccoli flavor. But if I don't feel like doing that when I want to use the broccoli crown, I will just take the stumps and throw them in my vegetable scrap freezer bag to make into a stock later on.
Genius.
Because that's just, why waste that?
So what I'm doing here is just not even peeling them. Sometimes people will even peel the rough edges. That's basically just because they don't look the best. They're still delicious. They're still tasty. They're still, as long as you wash them, they're perfectly fine.
Although sometimes they are woody. Sometimes you can get some that are like
that
coarse.
Texture. I like that texture. And
It's hit or miss.
You're gonna put that into the marinade because nothing is worse than not seasoned vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you want that flavor for the marinade that the meat is gonna go into, you want that to go into the veg as well. Now I also had some green onions kicking around in the fridge, and green onions are perfect to do for steak roll-ups because they're basically just thin and I cut the broccoli the exact same size as the onions here. So you can see it's so simple, so quick. I'm like, why not throw some onions in there too? Okay, so they also go into the marinade, and just get in there with your hands. We always say your hands are the best tool in the kitchen.
I like that you're marinating the vegetables instead of just like, if you try to put salt right on raw vegetables, it falls right off.
It won't adhere.
No, so I like that idea.
So here comes the roladen. So like I said, it's basically just very, very thinly sliced raw beef. Look at how thin that is. It looks like a cold cut basically.
Ooh. So you're putting that right into the marinade along with the veg.
It's going into the marinade. Look at that. I'm sorry. I can't. If there's a hole in something, I'm going to put my eye in.
I thought you were putting it on your face. I'm like, what's happening?
I needed to give a little hello through the hole, okay? Now get it into the marinade. Get that all in there. I think there was 8 pieces, so that means we're making 8 steak roll-ups. You could cut them smaller if you want, but that meat cooks down. So
yeah.
I feel like that was like, the 8 was perfect the way that it is. I didn't want to make 16.
So now you're just jumbling it all up, making sure everything's nice and coated.
Yep, and then you're going to want to marinate that for at least 4 hours before you start rolling them. Okay, just look at all that juiciness. And I just tried to keep the meat to one side, the veg to one side. You don't have to do that, but I just wanted to keep it nice and neat.
You can even do it overnight. Meal prep next day.
Preferably that would be overnight, but I didn't have time. I didn't think that far ahead. Now we're coming into the rolling. This is not difficult. If you're thinking like, then I'm gonna need skewers, I'm gonna need those little metal things that like hold stuff together, you don't need that. You just put your veg in there, start rolling, and as the meat cooks, it holds it actually together. It makes like a tighter bundle.
Yeah, I never got the toothpick thing.
It does. You don't need it at all.
It's like, do you soak them? Do they always burn, no matter even if you soak them.
Exactly.
Look at how beautiful that is.
And look at how easy that is. It's fun. You could even get kids to do it possibly if you want.
So is it like one steak roll-up per person, or how many would you say is like a serving? 2?
I did 2 per person because again, it cooks down. However, those would also be a good appetizer if you cut them on a diagonal, and then that would be 2.
Ooh.
Or you could even, if for a more hearty appetizer, you could serve like 1.
Or cut them even smaller and have little tiny steak pinwheels.
Ooh.
That would be pretty.
Yeah, okay, that would
on
actually...
a platter?
Okay, now I'm like, why didn't I do that?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay, so we're taking it out to the grill, grilling them on the grill mode on the Ninja wood fire. I didn't feel like I needed to add the smoke function here because I knew these were going to be a hot and fast cook. It's like, why even put the smoke function on there if they're on there for like less than 10 minutes?
It's nice to have the option. But
exactly.
If you don't want to take it, fine.
So they go onto the grill, and the sear on that grill, because it gets so hot, it sounds wonderful.
You can tell it was a cold day.
It was a cold day. It looked sunny, but it was actually very cold that day.
You can tell based on the steam how much they're steaming into the cold air. Those already look so good.
Yeah, I don't know why that looked so good. And look, I'm saying the temperature here was 4 degrees. I ran out without my coat because I heard lately there's a lot of talk about getting like some cold, quick air on you is actually good for you. So I tried to try it. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that throughout the winter.
It's not pleasant.
It's a little bit chilly. So then I just wanted to check them. I don't recommend this, but I had to. You know I'm a peeker. I had to check them. This wasn't even like halfway through. And there were some grill marks on them, but this is after 7 minutes. Check out the grill marks here.
Ooh.
Are those not luscious?
Those look fantastic.
And notice how they are against the grill grain, Key?
I know.
Did you notice that?
Well, you could have fit a couple along the side, but they would have had to be with the grill grain.
We don't do that.
I don't have a problem.
We don't do that in this house.
I think it still looks fine.
So that was after 7 minutes. After that, close the lid. They cook another 7 minutes. And look, no toothpicks, no little metal clips, no strings. Absolutely unnecessary here.
And they're not unfurling at all.
No.
They're not falling apart. They're keeping their shape.
So 14 minutes. That's all it took.
That's weeknight.
I know, a total weeknight. Okay, and so I cut this in half just so I could show you what it looked like. You could eat them as is. The broccoli here still has some crunch to it. The onions still have some crunch. They're still green. But what I like to do, I'm like a person that likes a saucy meat. Mm-hmm. I like meat that's cooked in some kind of sauce. So I went in my pantry, saw this. This is a roasted red pepper antipasto. And I was like, I don't know why I have this. I think Barbecue Mama gave it to me. I did not buy this. So I'm like, I don't know I wouldn't eat this on its own, but I think that would be delicious paired with those flavors.
Yes.
Put that into the tray, and I don't know if you do this, but I like putting some water in there, shaking it up, getting every last bit. Do you do that?
I 100% do that. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to get the last bit of it.
Why is that going in the garbage? Like, and especially if you want some water to help loosen up a dish like this.
Because look, it was like a dense sauce. I decided to put that into the oven at 350. I let it go for an hour, and I basically just wanted to, like I said, that you could have eaten the steak roll-ups as is, but I like tender, succulent, almost overcooked steak roll-ups.
So now this is like a Braciole type dish.
Exactly.
Now this is like
maybe
turned into
it's the Italian girl in me, but I'm like, I like a meat that comes with a sauce.
Look at this.
Yeah, the smell, oh my goodness.
Oh, that looks good. You could do some fresh pasta on here.
What did I serve these? Oh, I served them with wedges.
Ooh.
Okay, and see, now you can see the broccoli looks a little bit more tender. Okay, so it's not as crunchy, but again, we're talking the stumps here. They were delicious.
What an incredible way to... Oh, hot, spicy.
It was really... No, not spicy. It was temperature hot. I couldn't wait. I was like, I need to take a taste of this.
What a perfect way to use up those stumps, as Maddie calls them, instead of putting those in the green bin. You got yourself some dinner.
You're all about not wasting things. If we see anyone wasting stumps, we'll come after you.
And whenever you say stumps, I'm thinking like muffin stumps.
What do you call it?
What was I calling them?
What
Broccoli
do you call
stems?
it? Is it stems? Is it stumps?
Stumps is not right.
Are you team stump?
Or team stem?
Let us know.
It's stem. Stump?
It's a stump. Now I don't even know what we're saying. Step, stump. No, stemp. Stemp.
Okay, I can live with stemp.